Hello everyone, and welcome to the World War Photographer channel. Today we'll discuss Pearl Harbor and Japan's devastating attack. Don't forget to subscribe to support our work. It truly means a lot to us. On December 7th, 1941, during the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, the USS Shaw erupts in a massive explosion after being struck by bombs. Pilots of the Imperial Japanese Navy receive final instructions aboard an aircraft carrier before the assault. This scene, captured in a newsreel, was later acquired and shared by the US War Department. In September 1941, the aircraft carrier Zuikaku was photographed before its mission to Hawaii. It was one of 6 carriers involved in the attack. Aircraft prepare for takeoff from the carrier Akagi during the operation in Hawaii. A Nakajima Kate B-5N bomber takes off from Zuikaku to join the assault. This photo, originally from a Japanese film, was later seized by American forces. From a plane over Pearl Harbor, this aerial view captures the first devastating strikes on American ships. This captured photograph shows smoke billowing from Hickam Field during the raid. The battleship Arizona burns and sinks, seen from afar during the devastating raid. A US Navy photographer captured this image of a bomber, its diving flaps deployed as it approached its target. In this captured photograph from the early moments of the assault, aircraft are seen flying above the harbor, visible in the top center and upper right. During the attack, American ships burn amidst the chaos. The sky above the harbor is filled with smoke and anti-aircraft fire, captured in this wide-angle view. On December 7th, officers' wives saw explosions and smoke. They heard their neighbor Mary Naden, an army hostess, shout, "Those planes have red circles. They're Japanese." Realizing war had begun, the 2 women were shocked and started walking to their quarters. This aerial photograph, captured by a pilot, shows the attack, with a bomber visible in the lower right foreground. On December 7th, 1941, sailors stand amidst wrecked airplanes at Ford Island Naval Air Station, witnessing the explosion of the USS Shaw in the background during the Japanese surprise attack. After the bombing, a US flag flies from the stern of the sunken USS West Virginia. An A-6M-20 fighter is seen aboard the carrier Akagi during the mission. The USS Shaw burns after 3 bombs hit the forward section of the ship. The fires became uncontrollable, leading to an order to abandon ship. Shortly after, her forward ammunition magazines exploded in a massive blast, completely destroying the bow. The USS California sinks into the mud after the assault. A small boat rescues a USS West Virginia crew member from the water. 2 men are visible on the superstructure, upper center, with the mast of the USS Tennessee seen beyond the burning West Virginia. The forward magazines of the USS Arizona explode after being hit by a bomb. This frame was clipped from a color motion picture taken aboard the USS Solace. Planes fly over Hawaii during the attack, captured in this scene from a newsreel. The film was later acquired by the US War Department and released to US newsreels. In the aftermath, sailors at Naval Air Station Kaneohe worked to salvage a burning PBY Catalina. After the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, the battleships West Virginia and Tennessee burn amidst the chaos. Oil burns on the waters near the Naval Air Station. The USS Maryland, moored inboard of the USS Oklahoma, which capsized, sustained slight damage during the attack. The battleship USS Arizona belches smoke as it topples over into the sea. White House reporters rushed to the telephones after Presidential Press Secretary Stephen T. Early announces that submarines and planes had just bombed the U.S. Pacific Fleet. In Times Square, New York City, papers are sold announcing the attack on U.S. bases in the Pacific. On December 8, 1941, President Franklin D. Roosevelt, declaring a ruthless, unprovoked attack, asks Congress to declare war. Listening are Vice President Henry Wallace, left, and House Speaker Sam Rayburn. President Roosevelt signs the declaration of war at the White House in Washington, D.C., following the bombing. Young Japanese Americans, including several Army selectees, gather around a reporter's car in the Japanese section of San Francisco. The mine-layer USS Oglala lies capsized after being struck by aircraft and submarines. Heavy damage is seen on the destroyers USS Downs and USS Cassin, stationed at the harbor. An interior shot shows the destruction of an aircraft hangar at Wheeler Field. In this photo, provided by the U.S. Navy 8 miles from Pearl Harbor, shrapnel from a Japanese bomb riddled this car, killing 3 civilians during the attack on December 7, 1941. 2 of the victims are visible in the front seat. The Navy reported that no nearby military target was hit. The wreckage of the first plane shot down during the attack. A midget submarine, part of the attacking force, is seen beached at Bellows Field. After the Japanese air raid on December 7, 1941, a small crowd inspects the damage to Paul Gu's residence, both inside and outside, after a bomb strike. Shortly after Japan went to war against the US, unidentified attachés of the consulate began burning papers, ledgers, and other records in New Orleans, Louisiana. Police intervened later, after most of the papers had been destroyed. This unidentified man, startled while taking papers and files from a cabinet at the consulate in Chicago, turns to face a visitor. Clad only in underwear, he was caught as confidential papers had already been burned. Following Hawaiian tradition, sailors honor the men killed during the assault on Naval Air Station Kaneohe on December 7th. The casualties had been buried on December 8th, and this ceremony took place in the months that followed. On December 10, 1941, an aerial view shows oil-streaked waters and the dry docks at U.S. Naval Base Pearl Harbor following the Japanese attack. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed these historical World War photos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.